Hi there, it's Billy Tarasi with Modern Law, and today's tip of the day, I want to talk to you about should you buy your teen a car, and what if you want your teen to only use that car at your house? I can't tell you how often this comes up. It comes up a lot where people will buy their teenager a car and tell them they can only use it at their house, or a phone and tell them they can only use it at their house. And I want to talk to you about a couple of things. What is a gift? And what is ownership? When you give something away, when you actually give a gift, it is no longer yours to put control parameters around. So if you give your kiddo a car, you really should not tell them that they cannot take it to their other parent's house, because at that point it's not their car, it's your car. So call it what it is. If you have an extra car that you're allowing your teenager to drive while they're at your house, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But there would be something wrong with calling that their car. It's not theirs. They can't sell it. They can't do with it what they want. Now, on the other hand, you're still free to put reasonable restrictions on your teenager's behavior, right? So if the other parent lives 4 hours away and the restriction is you're not allowed to drive the car 4 hours away because you're only 16 or you're only 17, and that's too far for you to drive, that's an acceptable restriction. If you say to your child, you need to be home by 10 because that's your curfew, even if you have your car, that's an acceptable restriction. But telling them, I'm giving you this car, but you can only drive it when you're at my house because I don't want your other parent to have the advantage of the car that I've given you, that's not a gift. Don't call it a gift. Now let's talk about ownership and responsibility. If the car belongs to the child, they can sell the car. They're also then responsible for things like car insurance, for gas, for oil changes. Now, if it's your car and you're paying for all those things and they just have a limited right to use, it's sort of like the difference between being a parent, you're responsible for your children all the time, no matter what, versus being a babysitter. Whereas a babysitter's been entrusted to take care of your children for a limited period of time under a limited circumstance, they have different rights and responsibilities than a parent. So certainly they don't own the parent. They've just been given the ability to use in exchange for money. Same thing with the car. If you want to give your kiddo the access to your car, then call that what it is, but don't call it ownership. It's just teenagers have a way of calling out BS. And to me, this is BS. If they don't own the car, then they don't own the car, and don't tell them they own the car. So if you want to restrict the use, especially to your house and not to the other parent, then that's something I would strongly encourage you to consider.